So how would you describe the impact of Hong Kong's return to China from British occupation?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me. As someone who was born in Hong Kong and before 1997, I would say the impact is extremely significant. So first of all, I think it's important that we can finally call ourselves Chinese and proudly so. Because before Hong Kong's return, we really just have two choices. We can either choose to be British national overseas, and for those who don't fancy that, we don't really have any identity, nationality, and citizenship. So this itself is very significant. So in other words, that we are no longer second-class citizen or just be inferior to the British who occupy the land. We are no longer tools for making money and cheap and convenient labor force in the city. So really, the significance impact is about having that people-centered democracy and freedom, and the city is finally clear of corruption. And at the end of the day, it's about being governed by the people who have the best interests at heart.
Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping says the one country, two systems policy will ensure the region's long-term prosperity and stability. What's the significance of this vision going forward?
One country, two system. The principle is really the cornerstone of the city's economy. So, for example, there really isn't any other place in the world where one country you can have two currency, right? In the Chinese mainland, we use renminbi, and in Hong Kong, we use Hong Kong dollar. So it's really significant to be able to enjoy this kind of autonomy within one country. And for example, because of the one country, two system, Hong Kong managed to survive and continue to thrive after the 1997 and 1998 Asian financial crisis. It is because we can always trust that we have the backing and support of that one country. Secondly, the one country, two system allow Hong Kong to enjoy many benefits. For example, the Greater Bay Area of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau region is great in terms of potentially resolving a lot of challenges like employment, like housing. So really, it's extremely impactful to bring prosperity, to bring stability to Hong Kong. It has been in the past. It is currently, and as a Hong Kong citizen, I believe it will continue to do so in the future.
So Enoch, the new chief executive, John Lee, says he would lead the government of the Special Administrative Region to write a new chapter for Hong Kong's development. What would you say are the key priority areas?
So in my opinion, I think there really are three main priorities. So first and foremost, no question asked, is security and stability. It's to ensure that what happened recently with the riots and protests in 2019 never happen again. That we become increasingly should be immune from foreign influence into the city. So security is key. Secondly, housing. It's about tackling long-standing problem of the special administrative region. There is a lot of the major underlying challenges that causes some of the unhappy and unsatisfaction in Hong Kong is because of the housing shortage crisis. It is because of the income disparity. It is because of the lack of employment opportunity. It is because of the rising cost of living. So housing is one of the things that is going to solve and drive a driver in improving the standard of living. Last but not least, I think it's about reform and investment in education, including teachers training. Bear in mind, it's education and not propaganda. It's important that we're able to introduce, for example, objectively, the history of modern China. It is important that education include increasing a better people-to-people relationship between Chinese mainland and Hong Kong, or especially by introducing factual information which has been misleading in the past. For example, today is the 25th anniversary of Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, but at the same time, it is also the 101st birthday of the Chinese Communist Party, which fought for the return of Hong Kong. We need to understand that the freedom and democracy that we enjoy in Hong Kong wasn't given by the British Empire, but it was fought by the Chinese Communist Party. So at the end of the day, I think the key priorities are security, housing, and reform and investment in education. And with that said, I would like to wish Hong Kong the 25th
right.
happy birthday.